welcome to SS EDUCARE Teaching Learning channel. Thank you for all my subscribers. Those who didn't subscribe till now and watching my videos, please subscribe and watch my videos. Your support is my strength. Let's go to our channel. Story of the day. Once there was a school which used to organize a fun trip every year for students. This year also, the school has organized such fun trip to the same place for next set of students. The day came and all students were so excited for the trip and assembled near the bus before time. The bus started taking all the kids, and it was all the way going along the road, and all children were dancing, shouting, playing and everything. It was like full fun in the bus. When it was about to reach the destination, the driver saw a board that the height of the tunnel is 5 meters. The driver thought that every year he was crossing the same route and the same tunnel, and the bus went on happily with it without any difficulty in passing through it to reach the destination. The bus also went on till that time. It went on very happily and without any trouble. The bus went on. But as soon as it reached the tunnel, the roof of the bus was dashing or rubbing the tunnel. So the bus got stuck in between the tunnel. Once a man who was passing near the bus saw this incident, and he told that he is moving in a car and he would tie a rope with his car to the bus and he would pull it. He tried it, but what happened? The rope broke and the bus did not come out of the tunnel. Next, another man. By the time the people started gathering around the bus in that place, and one among them told an idea that he would bring a crane. Another man came and he told that he would break the road and would pull the bus so and so, and some of them has told their own suggestions, and the place was so noisy and so some sort of disturbances. So a kid from the bus came down, and a kid told that what if they remove the air from those tires? If they release air from those tires, the bus would come down, decrease in height, so that the bus can move. Driver did that, and the bus also went on smoothly. So that is what is the story for today. What's the moral of this story? We all of us, one day or the other, in one incident or the other incident, we might be stuck up with ego and pride. If we win something, immediately pride touches our brain. If we don't like something, ego touches our heart. If we lose that, if we just erase that from us, we can easily pass through the tunnel of life. That's the story for the day. Welcome back to my channel. In my today's video, I will teach the remaining part of chapter 4, Absorption by Roots. In my previous video, I ended up with the process related to absorption by roots. In this video, I'll continue with the remaining processes in relation with absorption by roots. Let's go for it. Tonicity. What is tonicity? It is relative concentration of solution that determines inward or outward direction of diffusion, which is called as tonicity. Relative concentration. Relative. When we are comparing two different activities or two different substance or two different solutions, we call the term relative. Relative concentration. What are we comparing here? The concentration of whom? The solution. that determines inward or outward direction of diffusion. This concentration only determines the direction of solution, whether to move inwards or come from outwards. That is from outwards to inwards and from inwards to outwards. Who is determining the concentration of the solution? That is called as tonicity. This tonicity is divided into three types. Based on tonicity, the solution is divided into three types. They are hypotonic, hypertonic, and next one is isotonic. Hypotonic solution. The solution outside the cells has lower concentration of solutes. Note this point, the solution outside the cells. So if we have cell wall or the cell, the solution which is surrounding the cell is the solution outside the cells, which has lower concentration. If the solution that is surrounding the cells concentration is very, very less, and inside the cell the concentration is more. See, as compared to that of solution inside the cells, what will happen? What direction the water molecules will move? The water molecules will move into the cell. The water molecules from outside, it moves into the cell. Yes. Next, hypertonic solution. Hyper means more. Hypo means less. The solution outside the cells has higher concentration. Initially here I told the solution outside the cells has lower concentration. Whereas here hypertonic, the solution outside the cells has more concentration than the fluids inside the cells. So what is the direction of movement of water? Water comes out of the cell. And here water moves into the cell. Water from outside goes into the cell. It's like a guest from outside going into the house. You call it as end osmosis. End osmosis. End. Endo means inside. Here, as the water is coming out, you call it as exosmosis. Look at this diagram. I have taken a beaker. Assume this is the cell inside which molecules are present. As the solution around the cell, the concentration is lower. From outside it is moving inside. Outside it is moving inside. So, this movement you call it as endosmosis. Whereas in this diagram, I have again taken a beaker. Assume this is a cell inside which molecules are there, where outside the solution it has higher concentration and inside it has lower concentration. So, water comes out of the cell. Continuing with third type of solution based on tonicity, it is isotonic solution. In this isotonic solution, the concentration of water molecules and the solute on both sides are same. There we have seen one side it is greater and another side it is lesser. But here both outside and inside the cell the concentrations are equal. So the water that is going out, how much water that is going out, the same amount of water will get inside. So the concentration outside and inside will be balanced. That is what is isotonic. Iso means same. Next, active transport. Active transport means the movement of substances through cell membrane from lower concentration to higher concentration using metabolic energy. Active transport, as the name says, active. Active, what do you mean by active? I'll tell you two examples. One is for active and another one is for passive. Take a class of students. A teacher is teaching a particular topic. If the students are also answering for every question of the teacher, the class is said to be active. If the only teacher is talking and whatever teacher asks, students are not replying, then it is passive class. That is what is the actual meaning of active and passive. Here, let's apply that for Here, active transport, movement of substances through cell membrane from lower to higher concentration using metabolic energy. That's called as the cell uses up all its metabolic energy as a result of production from photosynthesis process. The ATP is being produced, adenosine triphosphate is being produced. ATP molecules are energy rich molecules. So these molecules are produced as a result of photosynthesis. So those molecules energy will be completely utilized by the cell for the active transport. So the transport will happen very happily from lower concentration to higher concentration. Since from lower to higher, when we climb stairs from lower to higher, definitely we need to use some amount of force, some amount of energy. And when we are climbing down from higher to lower, no need of spending that much of energy. That's the concept called as active transport. Next, this active transport get help from enzymes in the form of ATP. I already said this uses metabolic energy. In what form? In the form of enzymes. This energy is being completely used in the form of enzymes. What are enzymes? Enzymes are substances, or sometimes for some activities or metabolic functions, enzymes are even called as proteins for the body. What do? They speed up the reaction. For any metabolic reaction, if enzymes are there, it fastens up the reaction and it favors the reaction to happen smoothly. That is why all the ATP molecules are converted to enzymes, so that this active transport, why is it called as active transport? Because so many of them are helping from movement of water molecules from lower concentration to higher concentration. Who are those so many heroes helping? It is number one, metabolic energy, that is in the form of ATP molecule, and number two is your enzymes. Such powerful heroes helping for the movement of water molecules from lower to higher. Will it not climb easily from lower to higher with all this support? Yes, that is why it is called as active transport. Chief nutrients carried by active transport. So who is been acting in this active transport? Who is circulated? Who is transported? They are nitrates, sulfates, potassium ions, zinc ions, and your manganese and sodium. The nitrates, sulfates, potassium, zinc and manganese, sodium are all of them are called as macronutrients that is present in the soil. We are talking about plants, of course. All these nutrients are present in the soil. They are called as macronutrients. The nutrients which are required in large quantities for the plant is called as macronutrients. Then, since they are not carried across cell membrane, they are macronutrients. Their nature of the cell, nitrates are in NO4. Sulfates are in SO4, then potassium is K plus ion, zinc is Zn plus, manganese Mn plus, sodium K plus. All are definitely ionic form. Ionic form that cannot be carried or cannot be moved from one concentration to another concentration unless and until it has a strong support. Yes, so since this cannot move by itself across the cell membrane, as cell membrane is semi-permeable, why will it allow such a complicated molecules? It will allow only water. That is why this ATP and enzyme, the heroes of active transport, the ATP and enzyme are working or pulling the nutrients inside the cell. That is why it is called as active transport. Then passive transport. The complete contrasting statement for active transport is passive transport. It refers to molecules along a concentration gradient of higher concentration to lower concentration. See, I have written such a big story for active transport, but for passive transport it's only 3 lines. Why? Because it's the movement of water molecules from, or the solution from, higher to lower. Higher to lower, nobody is there to tell the solution molecules to move from higher to lower concentration. It moves by itself. That's what is the nature of fluid. The fluidity, the free flowing nature is the nature of fluid. So since it is higher to lower concentration, it moves happily without using any metabolic energy of the plant. That is what is passive transport. It refers to molecules along a concentration gradient. In my previous video, I told you what is concentration gradient. Gradient is difference. Concentration is the concentration of, I told you an example of sugar. Again, I'll repeat. Concentration means I'll take 2 beakers. In one hand, I am taking beaker 1 and in the other hand, I am taking beaker 2. I am adding 1 tablespoon of sugar in beaker 1 and 5 tablespoons of sugar in beaker 2. I am adding equal amount of water, that is 10 ml to both the beakers. I am going to mix it with a spoon or stirrer in chemistry. So, which beaker is said to be more concentrated? Yes, it is beaker 2, which I have it in my right hand, where I added 5 tablespoons of sugar, whatever may be the water. The concentration they mean is the solute. Isn't it? So that is concentration. So inside the cell there will be one concentration and outside the cell there will be one concentration. That is why it is called as concentration gradient. There's difference in concentration inside the cell and outside the cell. That is what is concentration gradient of higher concentration to lower concentration. It does not require energy, metabolic energy. The next process is turgidity. It is the state of cell wall fully expanded due to absorption of water. That is swelling up of the cell due to imbibition of water. Turgor movements are seen in leguminous plants and are called as sleeping movements. Turgor movements, that is the swelling up, the swollen part of the cell are seen mostly in leguminous plants. What are leguminous plants? The plants in which the roots are swollen to accommodate the nitrogen substances. This leguminous plants will have root nodules in it which will accommodate or store nitrogen in the form of nitrates. Okay, the bacteria that is present in the soil fix the nitrogen in the leguminous plants which is being sent to the plant as nitrates. So that is the function of nitrogenous plants. So this turgor movements, that is movement of water molecules due to absorption, the swelling up of the cell due to absorption of water are turgor movements. They are seen mostly in leguminous plants and are called as sleeping movements. So what makes this, as a result of this movement, what is happening to the leaves? Actually it is closing. Sleeping is we close our eyelids. Likewise, the leaves are spread on the either sides of the branch, actually the stem. So as a result of this turgor movements, it sleeps, that is it comes close, it folds inside. See, look at this diagram. What is happening? Assume this is a plant cell wall, and inside it has a cell membrane. The turgor pressure from inside the cell, it is coming out, and from outside it is, we have the cell wall pressure is applied on the membrane. Then you have osmotic pressure also, because the solution outside may be of higher concentration, so it will experience osmotic pressure on one side, wall pressure on the other side, and turgor pressure inside the cell. So thereby the water molecules move from inside the cell or from outside the cell. So based on these movements, they are called as sleeping movements. It folds the leaves. Example, folding of leaves in Mimosa pudica. Mimosa is nothing but touch me not plant. So if you touch the plant, you can see the leaves getting folded. After some time it will get opened. So that is what is turgor movements. Then opening of lids in picture plant. Picture plant, you call it as insectivorous plant. Insectivorous. This plant will have a lid like. You have a picture down and you have a lid on the top surface of the plant. So when insects comes, okay, this plant will have that ability to attract the insects. When it is coming across the insect, or when insect sits on the lid tries to open and grabs the insects inside. That is what is picture plant or insectivorous plant. Since it is catching the insects as a prey, it is called as insectivorous plant. So the opening of lids is because of this turgor movements. Then, so that is what is turgidity. The next process is plasmolysis. The plasm, lysis, the dead, the shrinkage or destroying of that particular cell. The shrinkage of protoplasm when kept in hypertonic solution. Previously, we have seen what is hypertonic solution. If we keep the cell or protoplasm in the hypertonic solution, the protoplasm will get shrinked off because it is losing all the water. When plasmolyzed cell, that is the shrinking of the protoplasmic contents kept in normal water, again the shrinking, the protoplasm will get shrinked off. When we are keeping that protoplasm which has got shrinked in a normal water, it comes back to its normal shape, that it is called as deplasmolysis. This is plasmolysis, shrinking of protoplasm, and the release of or coming back to its normal state is called as deplasmolysis. Then, importance of this plasmolysis and turgidity. What is the importance? Where are we seeing this process is applicable to what? It is used to kill the weeds. What are weeds? Weeds are nothing but extra, like unwanted, undesired plants that will grow along with the crops, agricultural crops. Farmers used to first pluck out the weeds from the crops. If the weeds are present, it will take up all the sunlight to itself and it will take up more nutrients from the soil, so that the crops may not get proper nutrients because of this weeds. So the farmer, and moreover there is no use of this weeds for anybody. It's an unwanted, undesired plant. So farmer used to pluck out the weeds. So no need of plucking out. If we have this plasmolysis process, so we can easily kill the weeds. Then it is used to maintain rigidity in leaves. Because of this movement, inward and outward movement, there will be excess of concentration. So thereby what will happen? The plant or the leaves will have that rigidity. Instead of shaking when air comes, instead of shaking or moving, it will be like very rigid. Then it provides mechanical support for non-woody tissues. There are some plants like banana which has non-woody tissues. For some of them it will have woody tissues. In the sense, woody means very, very, very hard to touch. It will be like wood. It has that wood. So banana doesn't have those woody tissues. So it gives mechanical, the tree will easy, the stem will be very, very tender and easily it will fall. So for that, this plasmolysis helps in providing mechanical support. Then the turgor pressure helps roots to crack the ground. So this turgor pressure even helps the drying up of water. As all the water has been sucked up inside, all the water has been, like the cell has been losing it, then what happens? It may dry off the ground because of this turgor pressure. Continuing with process related to absorption of water, flaccidity. What is flaccid condition? It is exactly the opposite of turgid condition. No need to read its definition. It's only that much only is given in your textbook. So just write it's a reverse of turgidity. Then capillarity. You might have heard about capillary tubes. What will happen in capillary tubes? The process in which liquid rises up or falls down. You can take an example of thermometer where mercury level increases or falls down. That is capillarity. The process in which liquid rises or falls in a narrow space of a porous material. Okay, the space, the very small thin space of something, it can be a tube or it can be any porous material, or porous material is nothing but the material or the substance in which it has pores, holes, through which water can enter inside or come out, or water or any minerals or anything, any other substance can enter inside. That is what is pores. A material which has pores inside are called as porous material. So this capillarity is the process in which liquid rises or falls in a narrow space, a very thin space of porous material. Next, root pressure. How do you define root pressure? It's a pressure developed in roots due to inflow of water. When there is from outside the water enters inside, already the roots will have more of water, and excess of water enters inside, there will be pressure created inside, turgor pressure. And from outside it's the wall pressure or osmotic pressure. So pressure gets increased in the roots. So that we call it as root pressure. Next, cohesive force. The attractive force between molecules of same sort. See, every time we keep telling molecules, it is water molecule or your mineral molecule. But here, if the attractive force between two water molecules or the attractive force between two mineral molecules, ionic molecules, it is called as cohesive force. If the same attraction between molecules of different sort, that is the attraction between water and the mineral or ionic molecule, it is called as adhesive force. I'll again repeat, if the force of attraction between two water molecules, it is cohesive force. If the force of attraction is between water and ionic molecule, it is your adhesive force. There ends this chapter, absorption by roots. Hope I explained clearly each and every topic line by line and word by word. This topic is clear for you. You all understood each and every side headings clearly with the diagrams. If you like my videos, please click like button, comment and share it to your friends. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you for supporting me.